Greetings, beautiful people, and welcome to part 2 of On Being Retired. This is my little mini series that I'm doing on being retired. Now, this one I'm calling it, What Do I Do Now? So you're retired, and what now? When you have done enough sleeping and you've watched enough TV and just relaxed, and you haven't had to wake up to an alarm clock, then what? After some time, which may differ for some of you, you may find boredom starts to set in. Yes, you heard me right. Boredom. You see, your routine has been disrupted, and there are no longer constraints of work. No expectations, no having to be somewhere for a particular time. And for some, this might be quite disorientating. You may have a feeling of worthlessness even, because, what do? You've been so accustomed to being so active and, people needing you all the time. Oh, do this, that, and so forth, asking you questions, asking advice, and now, nothing. Well, it's time for yourself. It's time to explore all those things that you wanted to do but couldn't because you were busy working. And I don't mean exploring things like cleaning the house and cooking, of course, unless you like doing cooking. But it's really about what do you want to do. You may not even know what this is because, let's face it, our headspace has been consumed with work. So we haven't really had time to think about, well, what do we really like? What do we want to do? We've just been working and it's just been taken up with work. Well, a couple of things I'm exploring is, as I mentioned in my last video, is reading. I used to really enjoy reading, so I used to absolutely love it. And so I'm thinking of going back to that, because when I became a teacher, I found that most of my reading was based around the books that I would be reading to the children, or that I would be using for teaching. So now this is my opportunity to get reacquainted with books. Also, writing is something I started doing many years ago, but I just wasn't doing it consistently. I just used to write bits and pieces here and there, things that, came to me. If I was feeling a particular way, I would write it down. And as a child, I used to actually keep a diary. I don't have these now, of course, but I did used to keep a diary. So as I went into adulthood, I found that writing was a way that I could express myself and release whatever it was that was troubling me, whatever I was going through or feeling, or even responding to something that had inspired me. Writing was a way that I found that I could do it. I had lots of writing in different notebooks because I had notebooks all over the place. I would even use bits of papers and I'd have them all over the place. I just used to keep something by my bed. If I woke up in the middle of the night, I would write. Whenever the mood really took me, or whenever I felt I needed to. So I hadn't really collated them all together at all. I had no real plan. I never really had a plan for them. I just wrote them and felt better once I had written them. But once I wrote a piece called Struggles. I was really at a desperate time. I felt so much despair and I was really at a low point. And I wrote this piece called Struggles. And it didn't really take me any effort to write it because of how I was feeling. So I called this my first piece. I call it my first piece because it's the first one that I actually kept. All the others, I don't know really what happened to them, but this was the first piece that I had written, and it really expressed what I was going through at the time. And I shared this piece with a few people, and I always got a good response. So one day more recently, I shared it and a few other pieces that I had written with a colleague of mine, and she was the one that encouraged me to write. She felt that I had, or she said that, you know, you've got real talent, and that God would be upset with me if I didn't use my talent. So I thought to myself, you know what? She had really given a positive response about it, and so had other people that I had spoken to. So I thought, you know, maybe this is what I need to do. So when I was leading up to retirement, I started looking at all different sorts of things that I could do. I thought, oh, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I can't even remember some of the things that I thought that I was going to do. But I, you know, had different things, and I was veering away from the writing because I wasn't really feeling confident. Although people had said that it was good, I still didn't feel confident in my ability. Anyway, one day I was on my way to work, and I was going down the stairs of where I lived, and I would say that God spoke to me because it was so clear and it instantly resonated with me. And what it was he said was to write your book and use your voice. And I thought, wow. And these are things that I had been kind of running away from because not feeling confident. But hearing that so clearly, you know, along with what other people have been saying, because people have even commented on my voice and talked about my voice, and the children that I teach, they have also said, oh, miss, you know, I want to speak like you, I want to speak like you. So really and truly, when I think about it, and with that, you know, with what, as I said, God speaking to me, I felt I had the clarification that I needed. And so that is when I went and wrote my first book. The first book is called Snippets of My Life. That's what I called it. I should have really had a book here to show you the title, but Snippets of My Life is what I called it. So maybe at the end of this video I will tag on a picture of it. So I'm still exploring how I should be using my voice. So I've written a book, haven't really used my voice, but now I'm doing things like this. I've been doing my walking and so forth, and I've been posting on Facebook and Instagram, and most recently TikTok. And yeah, because people have been encouraged, and because they have been encouraged, I thought, maybe this is what I need to do. So that's how I've been using my voice, and now I've decided to do some stuff on YouTube as well. So I've got a YouTube channel, and yeah, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm trying to use my voice. So what do you think is your purpose? So I say all this to encourage you to think about, what do you really enjoy, or what would you like to do when retirement comes? You might not even know now, but maybe it's something that you can think about. Yeah, maybe even think about your purpose. What do you think your purpose is? Maybe brainstorm a few ideas and see what you come up with. You may actually surprise yourself. For those of you who have already retired, maybe you can start your own book club, you know, exchanging books, etc. Whether it be a physical book club, or whether it's something that you do online, you know, mixing with others, talking to others, discussing books, discussing what you've read, giving ratings and things like that. These are all things that maybe you can get into. Maybe Google to see what's around, to see if there are any clubs in your area, or what sort of things are available. Or you may choose to write. How about thinking about journaling? I actually do keep a journal as well. So think about journaling. You could buy yourself a nice little notebook and just start writing. Or maybe you might be a person that likes writing stories or even poems. But whatever it is, whatever kind of writing you say you're going to do, aim to write something every day. Spend maybe 5-10 minutes and just write whatever comes into your head. You know, I was told this, and yes, you know, it's something that I have done. You'll be surprised if you do it. You know, you just start writing, and then you find that things, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to, you know, it doesn't have to be a polished piece of writing. Just write and see what you come up with. So you can give reading or writing, both, or maybe one or the other, a try and see how you get on. This is something that you can even start before you get to retirement. Because, you know, why wait until you're retired? I know that you're busy, and people are very busy, and work takes over, but you could just start with a little bit, you know, and then maybe, as I said, explore these ideas, brainstorm, explore the ideas, and see what you come up with. It'd be interesting. You could leave me a comment to let me know how you get on, you know, and other things that you might like to explore. You know, things such as photography. I know people who love photography, people love art and pottery. I myself do like a little bit of art, and I'm actually going to a workshop in a couple of weeks' time, a mosaic workshop, so I'm quite looking forward to that. Some people like to play board games, so you could even maybe get a group of people and think about playing board games, having a games night even, or you may even want to learn to play an instrument. And something I mentioned in my last video, I believe, was voluntary work. You may want to get involved in voluntary work. It's not really for me as such, but you may want to get involved. It's whatever you think. You know, if you are retired already, whatever you think you can do. There are a wide variety of things that you can do, and you can try and see how you get on. So for those of you who have retired, think about it. Those of you who have not yet retired, you've got time to start thinking about what it is. What's retirement going to look like for you? Well, that's all I have for you today. So I'm going to say goodbye, wish you an awesome week ahead, and, you know, do think about those things that I have said, and I'll see you again in my next video. This is Missy Mac, over, not retired, not tired, retired, but not tired, over, not out. Stay blessed.